this is Quinn, and welcome to QuinnTech. Okay, well in my last video, my Amiga wouldn't boot up, but I think if I change out that 68,000 socket, which is going to be kind of an adventure for me because I'm not really that good at soldering, I don't have a lot of experience, but I'm going to try to tackle that task. And I'm ordering some solder braid. I have a soldering iron, and so I'm ordering some solder braid and a socket to try to replace that 68,000 socket, and hopefully it'll be up and running after that, because I did discover I thought putting that 030 board in would bypass the 68,000, but apparently even with the upgrade card in there, it still needs the 68,000 to be working. So anyway, I'm making this kind of probably be a shorter video, and my buddy Adam from Albuquerque, who I have a challenge with, and I've actually added some links to his videos and some of my descriptions, so you can go check out his videos. I've kind of gotten ahead of him a couple of videos because he went on vacation with his wife, but he mentioned in one of his, when he was going through all his stuff, that, you know, us Amiga guys, we end up collecting a lot of little gadgets and extra peripherals and things for them. So I'm going to show off some of the extra peripherals I have for mine. So I hope you enjoy this and come along on another journey with me. And thanks for coming. And well, here we go. So one day my buddy Adam called me. It was like on a Saturday, and he said, "Hey, they're having a swap meet down at this school, and they have some SCSI peripherals, and they have this external SCSI. They're a Novell NetWare external SCSI enclosure, and they actually had two of these, and one of them had a 2 gig full height 3 1/4 inch hard drive, and the other one had the exact same 2 gigabyte full height 3 1/4 inch hard drive, and then it had a 1 gigabyte full height 5 1/4 inch hard drive. And that thing was massive. It came up almost to the top of this thing. And you know, your standard hard drive is rather small, the ones that we're familiar with in the later days. So it's not even as tall as this. And so the one in here, I would like to open this up, but I have this one screw here that is rusted and stripped. So I can't get this one screw out to take the top off, because I wanted to show you how massive these hard drives are. But anyway, I think I paid $100 for the pair, and then what I did was I put the two 2 gig hard drives in this enclosure, and I left the single 1 gig hard drive in the other enclosure, and went to an Amiga users group meeting and ended up selling that for $100 for just the 1 gig and the enclosure. So I basically got this 4 gigabytes of storage and this case for free. And I think it might have been at that same swap meet where I got that CD-ROM drive that I have that saved my system. But this thing is kind of neat. I should have set up but it's got, you know, its own power, and you can select your device numbers here with a little plug that goes into the back of the drives, and then it's got a pass-through, so you have your SCSI external plug there. So that's one item. Now I've also got this external floppy drive for Amiga, and it has this switch on it. It's been so long since I've used it, I'm not even sure what the switch does. Maybe it's enables it and disables it. I'm not quite sure. But you know, this also has a pass-through, You know, that plugs in the back of the computer, and then you could plug another floppy device to that in if you wanted. So I've got my standard Amiga tank mouse, and then another extremely yellowed standard Amiga tank mouse. And then I have, I'm not even sure where I got this from, this chic Amiga mouse. Amiga mouse. So I have 3 mice to choose from. They're all ball mice. But, so if one of these doesn't work, at least, I'm sure at least one of these works, and they probably all do. So I am not want for a mouse right now. Now my buddy Adam also gave me this. He used to go to these computer shows in Las Vegas, and he got this, which is kind of neat. You plug in to your joystick and your mouse port, and then you can switch between joystick and mouse. And these are extremely useful for an Atari ST, because as you know, if you know about Atari STs, the position of where they put the joystick and mouse port is very tricky. It's like underneath the keyboard in this really tight space. So these were kind of designed with an ST in mind, but they do also work on Amiga. So that's kind of a neat thing I have. I also have this, which is a digital sampler. Plugs into your parallel port, and it has the left and right, so it is in stereo, the perfect sound. And this is Model 3, I believe. I think that's what I looked up when I found it on one of the boards online. And I'm not quite sure what this is. I don't know if that's to plug in a second device. Instead of using this, you can use the headphone type jack. I'm not sure exactly. So I have that. And then I have and I don't know how this happened. This might have been in that same fall, but I do still have the pieces that go in there. I just have them in this bag. But this is a Bernoulli Drive, which is like a tape backup type device. But I think it used almost like hard drive platters, similar to a, oh, what is that other one? SideQuest, similar to a SideQuest drive, an alternative to a SideQuest. And this, I kind of got cheated on this because, you know, I told you about my first Amiga, which was that Amiga 500. And I traded that whole system with the RAM expansion, the A590, I just discovered it was called, hard drive enclosure, and the whole system without the monitor, I traded for this. And at the time, I had an Amiga 2000, and I later ended up having 2 Amiga 2000s. One had an 040 board, but I sold that a little bit before I moved here to Charlotte, because I needed to raise some money for my trip. So I sold my 040 2000 and kept the 030, because the 040 board, although it did have more RAM and it was faster, it didn't have built-in SCSI, so you had to have a separate SCSI card in the 02 slot. So that's another item I have. And I don't know how I ended up with 2 versions of this, but I don't know if you've ever seen this. The video backup system. You can back up your hard drive or floppies to a to videotape. And you know, one of them can't, this one still has the software installed or inside the box. They both have the manual, and it's just this weird little device. I think this also plugs up to your parallel port, or no, maybe the serial, and then just plugs into the audio and video on your VCR. The other one, same deal, just this one doesn't have software. Well, as an Amiga owner, you also end up with a lot of books. So I've got the Amiga DOS reference guide for releases 2 and 3. I've got Mastering Amiga Assembler, which I've never really programmed on Amiga, but I ended up with these books somehow. I also have Mapping the Amiga, which I'm not exactly sure what that is, but a comprehensive guide to the inner world of Amiga. Covers libraries, data structures, and hardware, registers, examples in assembly language C, and Modula 2. And I don't know why I kept this. This was for my mini A501 for my 500. I don't know why I have this, but I do. This is the manual for my 030 board. I have Amiga Intuition, the Amiga user interface. The Amiga DOS Technical Reference Manual. Amiga DOS Developer's Manual. And the ROM Kernel Manual, Volume 1. I don't know why I have all these books. They were probably given to me by someone, but I do. And then I have I have this photocopy manual of the SCSI RAM controller card, which I believe I used to have. It might have been the one I had in that other 2000 that I sold with the 040 board in it. And here's something else I have. A lot of people probably won't even know what this is, but these polarizing filters were pretty popular back in the 80s with the CRT monitors that would stop the glare. And I used to have one of these that was velcroed to my old Amiga monitor. And I don't know where I got this one, but it's still in the box. Still sealed, probably never been used. So that would go on your monitor and cut down on glare. And according to this, improves contrast, reduces glare. New old stock. And then I just have various discs. And of course, if you have an Amiga, you're going to have a lot of floppy disks. So I don't have a whole lot of originals. These are mostly a lot of this is just there's no games in here. I don't know where all my games are, but that's going to come in handy. Oh, and look, I have a GBP Workbench 3.1 with GBP already set up on it, so that's going to come in handy. Got a couple of Amiga format cover discs, terminal programs, miscellaneous utilities. A lot of this is just shareware stuff. video backup system, and let's see, click DOS. I don't even remember what that is. Here's another cover disk. I do have presentation business graphics for the Amiga. Ooh. And Aegis Animator. Another cover disk. Some mods. Hacker's Guide to the Amiga. Some terminal programs. JRCom, I think I've used that a lot back in the day. Internet, FTP, Telnet, Dr. T Recording Studio, Prism, which I'm not even sure what that is, Express Paint Extras. Well, I don't have Express Paint, but I have the extras. Some neat graphic utilities, Mandelbrot and Fractals, Amiga Guide, Sysinfo, a few other utilities, Bars and Pipes Professional, another version of Directory Opus. Here's the multi-face 3 install for my serial parallel I/O card. VBS, I don't quite remember what that is. Termite TCP. Diablo emergency disk. Squirrel Jazz Tools. I don't remember having that. Some COM utilities. Miscellaneous utilities. Another version of Terminus. A 4008. I don't even remember having that card. Maybe that was, I don't know. Archiving utilities. Wordworth. Word processing program. PC. I don't know. Game tips. DMS, which was before ADFs, they used DMS, which was Disk Masher. I don't know why they changed to LHA files or whatever it is. No, what is it? ABF files. I don't know why they switched. Maybe it was better compression. I'm not sure. Some internet utilities. Maverick, archival utility system. Lockpick. Game cheats. Cybergraphics. PC task. Workbench 3.1. Workbench 2.1. And my only the Amiga Extras, Amiga Basic printer drivers for 1.3, Workbench 1.3, the 590 setup disk copy and the original, and Workbench 1.2, plus the extras and basic disk, printer drivers, quick nibble. I'm not sure what that is. Special disk copy. Disk labeler program, Maverick, which I'm not sure what that is. Copy of a cover disk. Some kind of cache and gigamim. Xcopy. Mac 1 megabyte ROM, because I used to have a Mac emulator on my Amiga. Project D, Final Data. I don't know what a lot of these are. HD Diagnostics, Gigamim, Cheat Docs, Deluxe Music, Construction Set. Another Amiga Shopper cover disc. And Brilliance discs 1 and 3. Where's disc 2? But it has the serial number right there, so it's the official. So, that's what I've got as far as my peripherals, and then I got a myriad of cables, a lot of external SCSI cables, and serial and parallel cables, and internal floppy and hard drive cables, and you name it, I probably got it if it went with my Amiga. So I just want to do kind of a quick rundown of some of the extras I have to go along with my Amiga. So since the hard drive is dead in the internal hard drive, maybe I can get its external hard drive working. I don't know. That I think also was in the fall, so maybe both those hard drives are toast as well. But once I get the Amiga up and running, I will find out and see. So thanks for joining me again on another journey, Quintech Retro, and I'll be back next time with a totally different topic. Still some more retro stuff, but I will not be talking about the Amiga next time. So I hope you look forward to seeing that video, and thanks for joining me, and have a great night. All right, take care.